Item number 17, request from Interwest Homes to be relieved of an requirement to prepare a master plan for the Turbine Road area so that they can apply for the subdivision of their property along Thule and Elmer Roads. Mr. Bush.
Thank you, and good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. This is a request to be relieved of the requirement for a master plan requirement. Master plans were developed in 2005 in March when the City Council adopted its 12 growth policies. So speaking of growth in your prior item, this is where we're planning to grow. In 2005, the City Council identified these areas in our sphere of influence as potential master plan and specific plan areas. So the purple, for lack of a better description, is master plan areas, as you can see here. The blue represents larger specific plan requirements, and those are due primarily because of the larger area and issues associated with them. And then this green area here represents our first major specific plan that we've completed in a long time, and that's the Lincoln East specific plan. So these growth policies are aimed to make sure that new growth within the city's sphere of influence occurs in an orderly and proper manner. And that's to make sure that we look at everything comprehensively, from flood control to infrastructure issues, road improvements, street design standards, all those things. Okay, and so we're set up to plan properly. One of the new master plan requirements, or excuse me, new master plan areas is this area up here. We've received a request from Interwest Homes, who's in that little niche right there, and I'll highlight that right here for you. This is a blow up of that master plan area, Butte House. Here's Elmer Road right here. And there's the Interwest property right there. Interesting to note that this is the only piece of property right now, along with this area down here along Butte House, that is currently annexed into the city limits. Everything else in that master plan is outside the city limits in the sphere of influence.
I'm sorry, there? Yes. Turn your microphone on.
That's across from where Sierra Central's building. That there's a large residence apparently going in there.
Right here.
Or a small store, retail establishment or something. Whatever it might be. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now Interwest is looking to do a subdivision map on that particular piece of property. And under our current practices, they would be required to prepare a master plan. But as they point out in their letter that we've included in the attached staff report, basically that subdivision is ready to go because it's immediately adjacent to existing improvements for water, sewer, and there are some road improvements that they'll connect to. This is a copy of the tentative map that they've submitted. Just to orient you, here's Thule Road, and then as you can see, here's the outline of the property that you see in that area. So really it connects to the existing street network, plugs into the existing infrastructure network, so there's not a lot of unknowns there. So it's really ready to go. And because of that, and because we believe that we can make sure that this project complies with all of the 12 growth policies that were adopted in 2005, we believe that putting the requirement to go out and spend a year's worth of time and approximately $300,000 to complete a master plan isn't warranted at this time. And especially because it's in the city limits at this time. So and this has been something that we've done in the past here recently. We did that with the property out there in El Margarita for the Unity Estates project. And what we did to ensure that this project contributes to the future master plan is that we're calculating the number of available acres or developable acres here. And based on that, they will be contributing their pro rata share for what we believe a master plan will cost. And in this case, it's about 4% of that cost. So what will happen is when they come in for their subdivision map, they will be conditioned to comply with all the growth policies, as well as contribute their pro rata share to the future master plan. And so when we get a developer or we get proposals to prepare this master plan, we will use those funds to help contribute towards that effort. So we believe that it makes sense, and therefore we're recommending approval of it tonight.
Questions? Yes.
So just to clarify, the money that they or their prorated share, the 4% of the proposed master plan, they would put up a bond for that, or they actually put up the money at this time?
Consistent with what we did with Unity Estates, it would be a deposit direct that we would retain in a fund for future efforts.
All right, thank you.
Aaron, just two quick questions. Number one is you had a map there showing a Thule Road. So is that Thule Road going to be constructed at the same time?
They will be responsible for their frontage improvements
Mhm.
down to this point here.
So where's that point at?
Let's see if I can find that here.
What is it?
Bradley Estates.
Two Bradley Estates.
Yes.
Okay. And then is that going to be 4 lanes or is that two wide lanes like Stable Road?
The general plan requires a 4-lane road. And so what we're proposing to do, because in prior subdivisions over here on this side, and for other projects, they actually dedicated the right-of-way on both sides, so we have the right-of-way. So what we're exploring as part of a future update for our traffic model is the possibility of installing the ultimate width of that road, but doing the outside 2 lanes with an oversized median so that when the time comes for the traffic up and down Thule Road, we have the ability to go back and put those extra 2 lanes in if necessary. Because right now, this is it. So putting 4 lanes right there doesn't really it's not warranted.
Right.
And so we believe with that design, since we already have the right of way, makes the most effective sense of the land out there, but still gives us the ability very easily and quickly to go ahead and make it to its ultimate improvements if needed.
Through the mayor.
Yes.
So in those previous developments, they dedicated the land, but they didn't pay their share of the cost of.
I believe that they also they paid their share for the cost as well. So we have funds sitting aside for balance of that road. So those will be used for improvements as well.
But wouldn't it make sense to do it now along with this project so that we don't have the higher cost of future construction?
Oh, well, we're as I said, we're exploring, and this will be ironed out more as part of the subdivision design and conditions. That you're not going to be able to see it on that, but that we'll do the outside lane here using that roadway and that those funds that exist there to build that half of the road, if you will.
Okay.
So it's going to be 1 lane plus an oversized median that will do, and then because I suspect that the funds collected don't get to 100% of what's there now, but that design will help us keep the street calm for what's out there now, and then we can always go back and design it, expand it later.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, through the mayor.
Yes.
So that subdivision will be connected to Blevins through Heidi and Bradley State.
Yeah, it will go down here to Bradley Estates, Tulewell, and then what is proposed right now is connecting here to Thule, and then this road up here, which is Heidi.
Heidi to Bradley State.
There is no connection proposed to Elmer, consistent with policies in the general plan.
Any changes to Blevins on that corner where the
I think wasn't that the original goal was to shut Blevins off there and punch Queens through and bring it to Thule? I mean that's kind of in the general plan, right?
Yes.
So and I yeah, down the road, and I think
Correct.
like the vice mayor said, why can't we just bring Thule Road down a little bit further
How much further?
Queens?
to Queens and punch Queens through? I know.
We don't have all of it just yet, and the big part that we don't have is the west side. There's nothing there, and in fact, you actually have some challenges with some existing properties out there. So, and because it's not warranted right now, as these other as these other properties start to explore development, that will be an opportunity to trigger that.
The subdivision that's building right by Queens and Blevins, aren't they going to further continue to go to Thule?
Right here. So they are dedicating and bonding for their portion of Thule Road.
Are they back
Because-
up to Blevins? I mean to Thule, right?
Right here. Correct.
So they front on it, aren't they required?
Well, right now it would go nowhere.
Huh?
It would be a road to nowhere. And so instead
Well,
of
Queens connected to
But-
Thule.
But it wouldn't go anywhere.
but it still wouldn't go anywhere because we don't have anywhere for it to go down to Butte House. It doesn't go anywhere to the north. And so what we're doing is we're building the pot, if you will, that when it's time and we get all the other puzzle pieces that we can put this through.
Especially if we can bring Queens and then down to Harder, Thule. That's not that big of a section, right there. When you go south.
But that's all private
Well,
property. right
this actually isn't. We don't have all the pieces there, and then we have some challenges down here as well. So, to put this in here would have required a lot of extra effort They are paying their share. They are dedicating, so we're prepared when it's time for it to happen. And then again, it would have just been kind of a roadway to nowhere on both the north and south side.
Great, thank you, Aaron. Any other questions for Aaron? Okay. What's the pleasure of the council?
Through the mayor,
Yes.
move the recommendation.
Okay, got a motion?
I'll second that.
Made a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you very much.